Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, so they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Urban Excellence, a product of my residence. From 4 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't tryna go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told my bro I make it out the hood, and that's a covenant.
Peace. Welcome back to another episode of the Urban X Podcast.
The Urban X Podcast is in full effect.
We are here. Thank you guys for joining us for another week.
Another week. Get this week started right. Get this week started tight.
I'm saying we're here.
We're here. We're going to jump this off as we always do. I would ask you, how was your week? But I just saw you.
Yeah.
This is getting a little awkward, but how was your weekend? How about that?
My weekend was cool. Mother's Day was cool.
Mother's Day was cool.
Okay.
Fellas got to save a lot of money.
Facts.
Because usually you got to take moms out, all these restaurants. Now they know what it feels like to get some shit on the grill the way we have to do it on the grill. Because it couldn't go nowhere. Yeah. But I heard certain places like City Island was still popping.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And
you can only hold black people from partying.
You can only hold black people from partying a little while. But for all the mothers, we want to wish them a belated happy Mother's Day. And all of that good stuff. We hope you are safe. We hope you are sound. We hope you are in good spirits.
Facts.
And all that good stuff.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This is another amazing day to be alive and be well. Yes?
Sure. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I got a haircut.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what happened. I cut my own hair. It's my first time. It's not that bad.
No, it's not, but I could have did a little bit better.
No.
Yeah, I could have.
No.
I'm looking at your line.
Your hand is shaky.
My hand used to be shaky.
Yeah, it's still shaky.
I was smoking crack back then. My hands are straight now. Now you did all right for your first time. You need to get rid of all of this.
I like this.
Okay, you like that.
Yeah,
all right,
this.
okay. It's your preference, you know. I like to be clean cut, looking like a detective when I'm on the streets.
Yeah.
You heard?
Exactly.
Unless I'm studying for a role. Like if I'm, studying for a role, I got to let it grow in and, this and that, and this and so, young man, what's going on in the world?
Man, listen. I think I'm going to get used to having these shows kind of close to each other because there's a lot that happens, and if we get to them early, by the time the Thursday show comes live, if it doesn't feel old.
Yes.
So I like this for right now. There's a lot of deaths this weekend.
A lot of prominent death.
Yeah, like they come in 3s, 4s. They were just coming.
Yeah, and the thing about it, when Andre Harrell, shout out Andre Harrell,
he passed away.
Founder of Uptown Records, started a whole movement, found Diddy, discovered Diddy, was responsible for Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, Albie Shore, Heavy D and the Boys. The list goes on and on. So for real of the individuals that he has helped and contributed to. So our condolences go out to him. That was the first one. Then we got the Little Richard.
Yes, he passed away the same day.
Same day, but they came in like intermittently, so to speak. And when that came in, I told a friend, I said, this come in threes. Yeah. You know what I mean? So Little Richard, the father of rock and roll.
Yeah, when people they started like listing like his lineage and the people who got famous off of playing his music.
Yes,
like the Beatles.
Yes, they loved his music.
They played his music to kind of get started.
To get them cracking.
Michael Jackson.
Well, Michael Jackson, what a lot of people don't know as well when it comes to Little Richard, when Michael Jackson bought Sony or owned half of their catalog, Little Richard's catalog was in there. Mike gave him his catalog.
Yes.
And it was worth $40 million. And people say that kind of revived his life. And that's just how Mike is. That because gangster. From one artist to another artist, like, yo, it's Little Richard. Here's your stuff, son.
That's
so because a lot of them artists from the 50s and 60s, they never made any money. They didn't own their rights. They didn't know a lot about, copyrights and all of that kind of stuff. So, and publishing and things of that nature. So for Mike to do that for him, I thought that was great. Yeah. Then yesterday we got the soul singer Betty Wright, cleanup woman.
She passed away.
She passed away. So you had like a hip hop icon, you had a rock and roll icon, and a soul icon, all go out, and things of that nature. Mainly from issues. They say Andre Harrell may have, and I want to state may have had corona. But I'm not really sure.
His ex-wife said he had heart issues that he was dealing with for a long time.
Okay, so I'm willing to lean on that.
And then he passed away. He didn't pass away in a hospital. He got found. Like somebody came to his house and found him.
Okay.
They said his heart gave out. So.
Okay, yeah, that's very possible. Yeah. With Little Richard, he was 87.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That's a good life.
Yeah.
And I believe Betty Wright was 66.
Still kind of young.
Still kind of young, yeah. But for black people,
true.
It really all depends.
True.
We eat soul food and
true that.
Stress is the number one cause she might have been dealing with. And I'm just speculating. You never know what her catalog, if she owned her own rights, if she continued to have to work just to make what we call a living. Mm-hmm. So it really boils down to we want to send our condolences to icons.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It just kind of like when now what's going on, a lot of our like icons are just checking out,
becoming ancestors.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
it's like you go on social media and it's like who is it today?
Right. And even Jerry Stiller.
Yeah, that was my guy.
Yeah, that's my guy from. I like him more in Kings and Queens.
Me too.
King of Queens.
Than
Seinfeld. He's had that real dry old man humor. You know what I mean? So he made his transition. He was 92.
Yes.
And Ben Stiller, his son, said natural causes. No need to speculate there.
His wife actually passed away a couple of years ago, too.
Oh, okay. And that'll do it. Let's say you've been married 40, 50 years. You lose your soulmate. The reasons for you continuing to be here are slim. Mm-hmm. So we want to send deep condolences out to all of these icons in their field of craft.
Yes.
And, it is what it is. Andre Harrell was instrumental in shaping what we call hip-hop. You know what I mean? And, again, under his tutelage, you saw Diddy.
Yeah, I didn't know he was on the board for Revolt.
Yes, he was on the board for Revolt, and I think he was going to do some real creative stuff, like create some shows.
But that's what he was trying. It's like everybody who talked about him said he was leaving like really detailed plans of what he was trying to do.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he just passes, so that's kind of it's a little eerie.
And he was an MC. He was down a group called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I didn't know that.
They came out in 1981 or 82. That's how he got his start. And then he met Russell Simmons, and then I guess he wanted to become more on the business side of things. But they had one or two hits, back in the 80s. Yeah, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You know what I'm saying? They used to do their thing. So
Condolences.
For sure.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Okay, so last week the big news was the shooting and the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, the black man who was seen on camera running fighting for his life with, from two white men who were in the truck, Greg and Trevor
McMichael or something.
Travis McMichael, I think. McMichael, yeah. And that news swept the nation and swept social media up. Everybody was just going off. LeBron said something, then Jason Whitlock said something to LeBron, and it became
an issue,
a huge issue. And then Kim Kardashian said something, and then they got arrested. I'm not giving the credit to Kim. I'm just
saying.
And or even the next day on Friday, which would have been his birthday.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, that Friday, the 8th, which would have been his birthday. There was a hashtag started like "Run with the Mod." Like everybody went out and jogged like 2-point-something miles in commemoration of him, and it became a thing. And it becomes usually what happens when one of our somebody black gets killed. We like to do things to commemorate him, like with Trayvon Martin. It was the Skittles, the hoodie. With Mike Brown, I can't, hands up, don't shoot.
Yeah, my man who couldn't breathe, I can't breathe.
Yeah, Eric
Eric Gardner. It's the social media era. We're like branding our own murders. You know what I mean? And we commercializing and branding them. I know that may not be the intent.
Yeah.
But as long as we continue to do that, the enemy is not worried because we seem to be focused on creating mythology or around these individuals as opposed to getting actual justice. Now, so that's going to be an issue when it comes to this particular case.
Well, yeah, definitely. Black people, we're big on symbolism.
Yes.
Symbolic victories rather than actual victories. So he got arrested. The two men, the McMichael's father and son, they got arrested. And people, started celebrating. Then there was a few people that said, I've seen this before. I'm not going to celebrate yet.
Absolutely.
And
keep talking.
What's happening right now is I'm not sure. There's a lot more information coming out. And stop.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot more information coming out. And the way the law works, the way these court systems work, my confidence in this
has went from one level to the next.
Yeah, my confidence in the situation of it getting handled has been depleted, and I can already see it. This won't go to court till like June, July. I think July.
Okay.
Late July.
Okay.
And the media's already starting to put the spin on it. They're starting to come out with more information. They're starting to, of course, talk about his criminal record. They're starting to piece together the story from what because we were told he was out for a jog. These two white boys lynched him, but then there's video showing him going into the construction site, running, and then we start to see what happens. So, and the unfortunate part is, because we talked about this earlier, the fortunate part is the only person who is not here to tell his side of the story is mine.
Which is usually the case. Like Trayvon couldn't tell his story.
Right.
Ron Brown couldn't tell his story. So you're getting one-sided of the story. And this is what I need to explain to our brothers and sisters. Once the reactivists get out of the way, because, there's going to be a number of reactivists who just jump on this and they want to run and make it. As they unfold these pieces, you have to deal with the information that's in front of you. If it's my job to defend you, nothing personal, my job is to paint another narrative, another picture on what happened, right? And then by the time the jury gets the case and they say you can only deal with the facts of this case, it really limits your ability to process, what was going on and how you can act on what is being processed.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is, because we watched a video of this former cop who was trying to break the case down like piece by piece, law by law. And to the letter of the law, it seems like I don't know Georgia's law like that. Right. I'm not going to act like, I'm super versed in criminal law anywhere. But it seems like that if the courts paint it the way he kind of explained it, they're going to get off.
Or at minimum, there'll only be manslaughter.
Yes.
The murder case is off the table.
Yes.
Right? We know that. Because murder has to be premeditated, and on the surface, it looked premeditated. Now, let me just add this as well.
But that also goes into the law team that the family is, because
that's what I'm saying.
If they get the battery put in their back by social media and go for murder, that can be
Right.
detrimental to how everything goes down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because remember, you can have an open gun in Georgia. Now, if this was in New York City and a black guy was jogging down Park Avenue and somebody accosted him and pulled out a concealed weapon, we're talking a whole different set of scenarios.
Yeah.
So you can have an open gun in your hand in Atlanta, in Georgia, right? So we have to begin to look at this, and the emotional aspect of it is going to be the toughest part because it always is. We jump out in front on emotion, and the emotion rides us. So there are those in it for the emotional ride because for 400 years, we haven't received any justice in this country.
Right.
But when all the smoke clears and they go to court about this, what do we see? I saw the second half of the tape. Him walking, not jogging, walking. Then he looks into a house. No crime there.
Right.
But the outside of the house did not look like a construction scene. Correct?
Right.
It ain't like it was scaffolds, because my first thought was,
Same.
There's windows busted out.
Same.
It's scaffolding all around. He probably looking, maybe he wants to purchase the house. I don't know. So he goes into this house, right?
Right.
And on the inside is being reconstructed. But the outside just looks like a normal home.
Right.
When he comes out, you see somebody say something to him, he takes off.
Right.
So why is he running? This is, I'm only giving you what the defense.
Defense.
The defense is going to say. Don't look at BlackDot saying, BlackDot, you cooning. You missing the point. We got to put ourselves in the defense's eye set and what they're going to try to make this into.
Well, it's because like a lot of people, and myself included, prior to a few years ago, you think when you're on a jury, it is your opinion. Like, I don't think he did it, so I'm not going to say he did it.
That's not the way it works.
That's not the way it works.
I've been on a jury before. It's not
They
the way
give
it
you
works.
the law, the criteria, and how this situation fits into this criteria.
And that's all you have to work
that's
with.
all you have to work
and
with.
it actually handcuffs you.
Yes, like
in a
that's-
lot of instances.
We saw that when with the O.J. Simpson case.
Yes, it did.
It was people on that jury that said, "Yo, I know he did this, but because the prosecutor introduced a piece of evidence that can now be used,
right.
the glove,
Yes.
he doesn't have it don't fit
If
for
it don't
some
fit,
reason.
you must acquit.
Boom. So now he's not. You know what I'm saying?
And Cochran masterfully
Yes.
did his job. And so now you got to look at it from that standpoint, right? So before you call me a coon, I'm analytical. I'm only looking at the data of it. As far as I'm concerned, they should all go up the river, right? But this is what the defense is going to say, right? He was running. Why was he running?
They're gonna talk about, because already people, Candace Owens, some people, they're talking about he had on khaki shorts. He didn't have on jogging.
What does that have to do with it?
Because they're saying he's not a. They're saying that the media is painting him as a jogger, but you don't jog in khaki shorts, right? So that's how they paint it.
Okay, yeah,
that's
but the prosecution can say I can jog in a damn suit if I want to.
Facts.
But this is gonna create skepticism.
Exactly. That's all.
And doubt.
Exactly.
Like, was he really? And then when you see the video, he wasn't jogging. The initial video, he was walking.
And again, we only see up to that point when he's not here to tell his whole side of the story.
Right.
He's not here to say, I just took a break. I was tired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was running.
I was running for 5 miles already.
Took a break.
And just take a break and just, oh, wow, look, this house. Let me go in.
And
then I got startled. You know, I noticed it's not my neighborhood.
Because you could
That's
also,
what the prosecution is going to say.
Because if you also look
Very
at
good points.
You can also look at the video as well and see there was like a porta potty in front. So maybe he could, like, he had a straight line in the house to see it was bare bone.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He was floor level, so he could say, okay, maybe probably are doing something.
And that's what the prosecution's job is going to be, to say he was jogging, he got tired, he saw something open. Let me go in and look. When he came out, he was startled.
And then it could.
And then he took off,
right,
because he didn't want no smoke.
Right.
And in doing so, he encountered the McMichael brothers
with guns.
With guns.
Like,
and what am I supposed to do?
Right.
And then that's when this popped off. So we're gonna have to sit back and watch the way this plays out. But it's not gonna play out the way you think it's gonna play out in most cases. Now I'm hearing some new videos released.
Well, I saw some still pictures of the same construction site at nighttime, and there was people inside. But there apparently it's been shown that it wasn't
Ahmaud. Right.
It wasn't Ahmaud. But again, I think that kind of strengthens the McMichaels as well.
But they have no reports of any robbery ever being reported.
True, but now they can say like, "Yo, we see on the camera that it was people in here, so our antennas was up." I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
like,
that's defense, prosecution.
Yeah. I'm just
So what I'm telling my brothers and sisters is, don't get caught up thinking this is an open and shut case that never is when it comes to black people.
Yeah.
Rodney King.
I always, every single time one of these things happen, and then like we talked about, like they try to fit it into the law, and they usually do a great job of doing it. I always talk about like, yo, why can't we ever have a moment where the roles are reversed, where it's just
absolutely,
like, he didn't break no law.
Right. Beyond the OJ situation, we don't get a lot of breaks when
At all.
When it comes to that.
So
so we're gonna have to pay very close, and they're gonna paint him. I think he had a criminal record. Might have been something small, but trust me, by the time they be digging into his business, their job is gonna paint him into a corner. This dude was a criminal.
And
he had mental issues. It's gonna be a number of things.
And you know what's crazy? Prior to all this other information coming out, like the extra camera angles and things like that, I saw a video of his best friend saying, "Yo, this is not black and white. This is about right and wrong. Like, he shouldn't have died. He should not have died." I'm saying that.
Right, absolutely.
He should not have died. But the fact that his best friend came out and said that,
they're gonna use that. The defense is gonna use that.
Yeah.
Here's even his best friend telling you this wasn't a racial, for whatever it's worth. You know what I mean? So we are in for another ride.
Yeah. And I always thought, because of how hard people went on social media right now, since we're all home, all of our energy is focused on this, I think the letdown is going to be crazy.
It always is, King. It always is. That's why I don't get my emotions too high.
Yeah.
When I see this, and sometimes you can see it as clear as day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, again, my analytical mind, perception is my gift.
Yeah.
So I always go to the other side of things. See, the problem with black people is we rarely go to the other side because of the cognitive dissonance of all of the, pain and suffering and injustice in this country, rightfully so.
Right.
So we don't go to the other side to say, how would I spin this in my client's favor?
Right.
So when they go behind the truck, I don't see what happens behind the truck. I see them both roll out from behind the truck, and then you hear the shots ring out. Now, when he came on the other side, did Ahmaud try to attack? This is what they're gonna say. Nobody knows, unless it was a camera in the Jeep, right?
Yeah.
That showed the very front of the car. Could be a lot of these modern cars have that. Now, back to the guy who was filming it.
Yes.
I'm baffled. If these are your people, why would you release this tape? Because there would be no case.
I didn't even hear about it until we did hear about it, but it didn't explode.
No, we heard ruffles.
Yeah.
But because there was no video footage,
it didn't explode until the video came out. We were just like,
right,
yo.
Right. I saw Red Pill get on and break down something with Pluto being in retrograde. A lot of things that happened in the past are going to resurface, and spoke of this instant in particular. But what happens is the video is what incites.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
How many of our brothers and sisters lost their lives when there wasn't no video? And there was no case.
Yeah.
Or we didn't have enough evidence, or a crying mother, is crying out, guys, y'all don't know what's going on. My son was killed, and it doesn't pick up the momentum until the video comes out. When the video comes out, the lawyers show up.
Yeah.
The reactivists show up. The activists show up. And then it becomes the circus that it is. Right? I don't know what happened in front of that truck. This is what the defense is going to say. None of us do. And this dude who was filming, what was his mindset to be filming in the beginning?
Yeah.
And then how did this, if that's my boy, the last thing I'm releasing is that tape.
Yeah.
So this makes me think it was something else going on. I don't want to get lost in the fact that this could all be calculated
And then
to keep our attention off something else.
And again, like, why now?
Why now?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
Why now? Like, all of a sudden, when all of our attention can be literally focused on this, why now?
Right. Absolutely. So we want to keep a close eye on this. Speaking of cases, What's this girl? Breonna
Taylor.
Breonna Taylor. We just heard about her case.
Yes, she was from Louisville, Kentucky, 26 years old. She was shot 8 times by Metro police officers who entered her apartment on March 13th. Again, this happened a while ago. We're just kind of really hearing about it. The police said that the officers were serving a search warrant for a narcotics investigation and no drugs were found in the home.
No drug. They was in the wrong apartment, if memory serves me correct.
So,
You know what I'm saying? People in the chat can help me out with this. And then you shoot her 8 times. 8 times. This is what we mean. This is ridiculous.
yeah.
What is even the rational reasoning for shooting a black woman 8 times?
That means as a cop, right? You shoot 8 times off of you're supposed to be trained to just to kind of have better nerves in that. You know what I mean?
Assess situations.
Yeah.
As they occur. When you shoot somebody 8 times who had no weapon and there was no drugs and you was in the wrong goddamn house, how do you explain this?
Yo, you remember it was a video, it was a few years back of a traffic stop, and the guy who was in the car was a black guy. He was not an undercover agent, he was like a private detective.
Yes.
And a cop stopped him, told him to get out the car, grabbed his arm, and his arm was shaking. He said, "Listen, your arm is shaking.
Right.
You're making me nervous now."
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these people are not really
They're not
cut out.
And because of fear. They fear who you are to begin with. So they shouldn't be on this job, period.
Right.
90% of them officers, in my humble opinion, should not be on this job. And I've always said, like I wrote in Urban Culture Decoded, the entire police force that works our community should look like us from top to bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we have a tendency to relax a little bit more. We know our streets. We know our culture. We speak with our hands. I told you that all the time. You see me doing like this. This could be assumed that I'm a hostile gesture. But that's just the way we speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And officers who are not inclined to understand who we are get nervous. Look at the Chinese cop a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Soon as he walked in the stairway and saw somebody killed him. That means you are not fit for this job.
Yeah.
And when you have officers who don't like us, who don't look like us, in our neighborhoods, it's creating hostility to begin with. Go police your neighborhood. Let officers, because at least I can reason with an officer who look like me for the most part.
But you know what's crazy? That's tricky as well, because I've always thought community policing was the answer. Not the answer, but would help. But it always seems that power
Corrupts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does.
In all cases. And I bring this point up as well because a lot of people, they think like if we were just to live in a black utopia, just all black people, it would be no issues.
That's not true. Nothing could be further from the truth.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if
niggas gonna be niggas wherever you go.
And if you think about when it comes to just academia or consciousness, we have different opinions on how to handle things, right? Like,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to power and people having the authority over you to actually move you from one place to the next,
that's going to be a problem.
That's going to be a problem,
absolutely.
Regardless. So I don't know what the answer is when it comes to police.
But I at least feel that when I see a black police officer, not a black police officer with a white captain sitting in the car, and he's trying to show off for his boss. I'm talking about a police department from top to bottom, right? Mm-hmm. If we had that, I feel at minimum, and if you are a reflection of the hood, I understand you have a job to do, because my goal is if you doing wrong, you doing wrong, whether you white or black, right? But we have the ability to govern ourselves. And in governing ourselves, the police officer should just be somebody you see for goddamn help, for the most part. Those who are doing crime, those are the ones who need to be targeted and so forth and so on. But crime is subjective, like when you start thinking about jobs and opportunities. And so it runs deeper, and then you just picking up your newspaper saying the crime is high in this neighborhood. You have no idea what crime is to us, you know what I mean, right, collectively, and what we got to do to feed our babies. Especially if my daughter crying, I ain't lying. Y'all know the science.
I know the science. Yeah.
Right? So we have a different mindset. Yeah. So I'm not caping for police officers. I'm just simply saying if I had a choice, I'd rather see a police officer that looks like me, where I can say, officer, whatever, listen, man, you know, whatever. Or he can come through and say, listen, guys, I see the dice game. I peeped that. I'm going to make my rounds. When I come back through here, I need that clear. You know how it is. And if the respect is there, you know what I mean? Because how many black officers mistakenly shoot another black officer, kid?
Yeah, facts,
right?
Facts.
White officers are the ones gunning us down with a mistaken identity. And how many black officers
shoot white kids?
Shoot white kids. Like I thought he had a gun. 0. Right? Or very few. So we know that it's something dealing with, you know, the psychology of this. These people are coming into our neighborhoods. They don't like us. They hate us, but they're the first line of defense to hold up society. And they will do it at all costs. And they think they're being rewarded. They are not. Officers don't make no money. And that brings up a whole nother corrupt situation and why they stopping young dudes who pulling up in his Wraith. And the officers like, yo, what's good? So that opens up another can of worms. But for them to shoot this sister, shout out and condolences to her and her family. You know, this is a tragedy beyond tragedies.
8 times?
8 times. Just explain this. That means you were afraid and you didn't do great police work.
Yeah, you walked in knowing if I see something, I'm something,
letting off.
My cat could have went across and the cat would have got hit. Yeah.
I'm letting off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is just a travesty in all senses of the word. And I'm going to need my people in the chat, if you're from that area, you know, keep us abreast on, you know, because we only get bits and pieces. A lot of you from that area be on the ground and know what really goes on, because how can you be in the wrong apartment and shoot a black woman 8 times?
Before we move on, also, for the people who have you on social media, do not get swept in by these Republican conservative pundits who say things that are just to get you riled up and upset.
Absolutely.
Candace Owens
she's the number one.
She's like,
number one pundit.
That is her shtick.
That's how she gets off.
That's her thing.
That's how she tickles her ding ding.
That's her. Like, she just wants to get black people upset by saying black people, you're stupid. She's black herself. So you telling her she hates herself, that does nothing.
Nothing.
That does nothing for her.
Absolutely.
It's just whatever to her.
And she said LeBron is stupid, or he just was being. She made some kind of weird statement.
And you notice all the things that we claim to hate, we give the most energy to.
Yes.
Everybody that just repulse us as a community, we give all the attention to, and then we make them famous in the process.
And that's all she wants is the energy.
Yes.
That's all she wants is the energy. So we giving it to her now.
Yeah.
But we only gonna give it to her another 8 seconds.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
You know what I mean? So don't fall for the okie doke.
That is it.
People who love themselves conduct themselves much differently.
Feel me?
Yes?
Yes.
All right.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Okay. Now, every so often I come across a bit of news that makes me really shake my head and scratch my head in disbelief. Like,
okay.
It's no way.
Yeah.
Right? So this week, everybody kept sending you things about this Trace Act, HR 6666.
Yes, Trace Act, yeah.
Right? It was introduced by a black man, no less.
Was it?
Yes, Bobby L. Rush. He is He's a United States congressman of the 1st District in Illinois. Look him up.
Okay.
Right? He introduced a bipartisan legislation to fund a $100 billion coronavirus testing and contact tracing effort.
What does that mean, young man?
So he wants to hire people, train people to be able to go into people's apartments, test people who have the coronavirus, and take them out of their home and put them into quote-unquote quarantine. And if you have it, you have small kids, take your kids out.
Yeah, your kids have to be 18 and older or not. They put them in foster care.
Yes.
Yes? And they're going to start paying you to snitch on each other.
Yes, that's what
That's a little bit of the extra cash.
That's what he is introducing. So, again, a lot of people, they would, just by reading headlines, they thought this is about to go into law tomorrow, next week.
Right.
It was introduced, but I don't think that it has a chance of getting through. I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me why, young man.
Who has been, in America really, What in New York City? I'm just going from New York. Who has been one of the largest communities affected by this virus?
Black people.
Yes, and another. Think of something. Think of
Spanish people.
No, keep going.
Chinese people.
The real estate agents.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So once you start talking about taking people out of their homes, forcibly putting them into quarantine or concentration camps, that's not gonna fly.
And the real estate agents been spreading that around like jelly.
Okay,
they just
so
spreading that.
That's not happening.
Oh, okay.
That's not happening. And again, there's white people getting this disease as well.
But they can wait before they deal with New York. Just playing devil's advocate here. They can start in some rural towns where there ain't no real estate agents and build up momentum and save them for last. They could do that.
I think that.
And this is starting to sound like FEMA camps. This is starting to sound like
starting to
concentration camps.
No. Okay,
All of the things, hold on. All of the things the conspiracy theorists have been saying for years that people debunked, it's starting to seem like the conspiracy theorists are a little bit more on point. But continue.
Well, I think that's probably why a lot of people have been reaching out for alternate sources of news in this past few months. But another thing why I don't think it'll get through. America has a very great talent with subtlety when it comes to their most racist laws.
The most heinous things.
Most heinous things. Yeah. This is super heavy-handed.
But under the guise of protection. The reason you're in your house, you're under house arrest right now.
True.
The reason you are under house arrest and welcoming being under house arrest, not you per se, is because of safety.
Okay, and again, it's not just black people, it's not just Hispanic people. This is all people. So that I think that'd be if this was to ever come into pass, I think that'd be the straw to break.
Okay, but they're gonna spin it to say the most heavenly affected are black people in poor neighborhoods because they don't go to the doctor. So we're gonna come into your neighborhood. I'm just showing you how they're gonna spin this, and out of concern for you, because I saw a video. This wasn't in New York though. You saw the video.
I feel like that was fake, bro. I don't know.
Okay, could be.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you can't.
You talking about with the dog? You saw the dog in the video?
What you talking about?
Okay, I'm talking about the video where the police were in somebody's house.
Okay.
And they was telling them that you need to come with us. And they was saying, we don't consent to this. And they arrested that couple and let them out of their house. But I could tell it looked like it wasn't in the United States. Somebody sent the video to me in my DMs.
Again, and right now with because there's a lot of fake news happening right now. So you have to double and triple check the source, because we saw a video of a guy at a press conference literally talking about this out loud. We're gonna do this. And I couldn't find it anywhere else.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's why we didn't post it.
That's why we didn't talk about it, because literally people could green screen it, get their own, you know what I'm saying? Really just
and your government is doing that too.
I'm pretty sure.
To add truth with falsehood.
And you don't know who to believe.
And you don't know who to believe, because if you don't know who to believe, then you will continue to believe. Like for instance, nobody's talking about 5G no more.
That's gone.
And I know y'all thinking, well, that's because it wasn't true. That's not necessarily the case. It shows you how they can move information from the front of your frontal lobe to the back.
Yeah, because they
just that. Do not think that they're not going to be putting 5G antennas up, or that it's an old story. I'm showing you how mind control works in real time. Our memory span is only a week and a half.
Yeah, they shamed everybody who brought up Charlemagne.
Yes.
Vlad. Everybody who brought up 5G, the way they just shamed it into just
right. Like, this is ridiculous. These guys are crazy. What do you mean 5G? And now you don't hear about it at all. And don't forget, I don't care what you say, those 250 scientists did say, right, that this was dangerous. And I did see the Congress report on the FCC that said they did no test on 5G technology whatsoever. I saw that with my own eyes. So if that's fake news, then okay.
He synced it.
I synced it. So we are dealing with people who can put information like a killing at the front, let that eat, and then move it, because the trial ain't until July.
Right.
So, you're going, there's a few people out there now in front of the house, doing what they do.
I did see that. Some Black Panthers.
Yeah, some Black Panthers out there in front of the house. They'll be out there for a few, this and that. And then the story will die down as usual. They'll keep you on this corona stuff because people are going out now. So people are like, we don't believe the corona shit.
Yeah, so now, again, we said this a month and a half ago. Every day they just come out with new findings about the coronavirus, but they don't know how to stop it. Now they can find it in semen.
Yeah, I heard. They're finding it in semen now.
Now, babies are getting, kids are getting
a rare form.
It mutated that fast. Mutated in a couple months.
Yes.
And it's just, kids are getting it the worst now. So before it was old people. Then it was old people with pre-existing conditions. Then it was young people. Then it was young people with pre-existing conditions. You know what I'm saying? And then now it's kids, and now it's on surfaces for 13 hours. It could go up to 26 feet in the air. Every day.
Every day is something different. Now, didn't somebody get tested?
Yes. Somebody got tested. It was a man. I want to find what state he was in. Because it was a man. He got tested positive and negative within 4 hours.
Within 4 hours, he went from positive to negative.
Yes.
That sounds like Biggie lyric. I went from negative to positive. Yeah. But you see what's going on? Mm-hmm. So the instability in the test, and we saw last week a goat test positive.
And a fruit.
Now you could test positive and negative.
Yeah.
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah, Georgia man, according to the Griot, he tested, his name was Sean Smith.
Sean Smith, like a black guy.
Yeah, on Saturday, he tested positive, and then he retook the test at a CVS drugstore and tested negative.
Okay, so what do we have there? What does that tell you? Right?
These tests are faulty.
That these tests are faulty.
Faulty as hell.
So if you're going to be running up in people's houses, forcing them, back to the HR 6666, if you're going to be doing this and these tests are not 100% accurate, which we know they're not.
And then when you get tested, if stress has anything to do
the exochromes
with how these results come out, if I'm getting forced in my house, so cops forced in my house, force test me, I'm stressed.
I'm stressed.
So
the exochrome levels is gonna go through the roof.
Yeah, he got to go up.
He gotta go. And then where you putting me at?
Facts.
What kind of camps y'all have set up that we don't know about?
Yeah.
That you could just fly me or house me somewhere, bust me somewhere until I get better?
Probably the cages that the Obama administration had built for those kids, the Mexican kids that people were mad at Trump about. But
Obama Gate.
You know what I'm saying? But
Obama Gate. So let's go to a commercial.
Yes.
Can we get a commercial in there?
We'll be back.
Maestro. And we will be back.
Yo, Artie, can I holler at you for a minute?
Oh, shit.
Pop's tripping. He want me to ask you for the money for that shirt. You know I wouldn't even trip.
What shirt?
The one I sold you. The one I've been asking you about. The one you got on.
Oh, this shirt. I didn't know you wanted the money, homie. I thought it was free. Let me go get the money for you.
I mean, because it's this blog. Me and my dad do Urban Xcellence. It's kind of like both ours. I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool.
Oh, shit! Not this
My Urban X shirt, punk.
And we're back
for another episode.
You know what I'm saying?
Another segment.
So, this weekend, or Friday rather, a famed rapper, famed rat, Tekashi 6ix9ine, came back on social media with a bang, bro. He came out with a new song, which was Gooba. It was terrible song.
All of his music is terrible.
This was like really, really bad. And then he went on Instagram Live and broke every record. He had 2 million people watching him on Instagram
watching his live. So for all of the DJs who've been verses, this and that with good quality music, this goofball shows up. 2 million.
2 million people.
Wow.
And then everybody kept talking about how they wouldn't support him. He had 2 million people watching his live. That's crazy to me.
It's because we're in a different era now. All of this moral stuff that you talk
Gone.
about, principles, all of that's out the window. It's about sensationalism. Go to YouTube. You see some dudes on YouTube just yelling, arguing, cursing, a fool, and their numbers is up crazy because we want to be entertained.
Yeah.
And at minimum, this guy's entertaining.
It was more. What was more gross about it was everybody on the timeline defending him being a rat.
Yeah, again, that's the era we live in.
Everybody kept saying, "What would you do? They threatened your baby mother." Here's the thing, and I'm gonna quote a poet named Avon Barksdale
Okay,
from The Wire.
from The Wire.
The streets is the streets. Okay, he was a grown man who joined the gang as a grown man.
Yes.
Put money, got rich off of the image that gang afforded him.
Yes.
Use that money to put hits on other rappers that he had problems with.
Facts.
Did other stuff with his money, and then all of a sudden, because streets are grimy,
Right.
they want to extort you now.
Right.
They want to kidnap your baby mother because you owe them money or something like that.
Right.
One of them hits your baby mother. The streets is the streets, and you have to live with that. And then instead,
And that's by Arkbell,
that's Avon Barksdale
Avon
in
Barksdale.
The Wire.
From The Wire. Streets is the streets.
Streets is the streets.
But since most of these people who are entertained by his music are not from the streets,
Oh, it's gross.
right? And I keep telling y'all, all of this is entertainment now. There is no substance to this. It's entertainment. And when you sit down to make a song, I tell people this all the time. If your goal is to raise the consciousness of the people, expect to be broke, right? Because the vibration, it's not a lot of people up there vibrating that high.
Yeah.
So when you put out an ass clapping song, a trapping song, one of that, the vibration is lower.
Yeah.
You have a greater opportunity to reach more people who don't give a ish, right? So you sell more records because our people at minimum want to be entertained. They're looking for the car crash. They're not looking for intellectualism, except those who are. They know where to find that.
Yeah.
But it's entertainment. What kind of world do we live in where a guy dressed like a bag of Skittles
And then
steals all my
What
pussy?
happens is, again, like I said, we give so much attention to what we hate, right? So people keep talking about they can't stand him. I hope he don't get nothing. All it's doing is feeding him,
Yes.
right? So Meek Mill said something about, I hope he goes on live to apologize to all those people he put behind bars, stuff like that. And what happened was everybody laughed at him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's something
And
with...
didn't 6ix9ine make a comment back at him or something? I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
because he just had a baby. He said, imagine you just having a baby and worried about a Mexican kid with rainbow hair.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
he's back to trolling. And it's something, I don't know, man. This whole trolling era is weird.
It's a new generation.
Yeah,
bro.
it's weird, man.
It's new, and you guys keep trying to apply morals
Yeah.
to an immoral world. You know what I mean? Nobody cares if you snitch. Nobody cares if you out shaking your ass. I mean, because even the girls out here on Instagram, that used to be such a secretive thing.
Yeah.
That you was a stripper.
Yeah.
Like you had to go to the spot to see it, and then they lived their normal life. All bets is off.
Remember, like, it was to pay their way through school?
Pay their way through school.
yeah.
Or that was the theme, I'm going to college and I'm just doing this on the side. Now they making more money than they would make if they went to college. This is way off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
And dudes doing bizarre things, setting themselves on fire, anything for attention. That's the world we live in. Attention is the new form of currency.
Yeah.
Right? And so he is a character, whether you like it or not. He is a character, and our people like tuning in to watch characters.
Listen, I'm saying it here. This is going to be the last time we discuss him unless something tragic happens.
Well, I'm hearing,
He was apparently he's in protective custody,
but he had to move a couple of times.
he had to
already.
move twice already because the first time, somebody was walking into their room and saw him taking pictures in the backyard patio. She was just like, oh, and then obviously his address got leaked. Then he moved again, and because he has all these cars, somebody saw that that's 6ix9ine's house. He had to move again. So yeah, it's not looking good.
It's not. I don't know. How can you be? Is he in protective custody or not?
I guess.
Because this is a weird kind of protective custody. I mean, you're supposed to be so low.
He's supposed to be in Kansas with
that's my point.
A new face. You know
a new face somewhere just chilling. But he got that contract. I don't know if it's with Rock Nation.
Yeah, it was rumors.
It's
that
he
was with Rock Nation.
That he's with Rock Nation. I don't know.
That'd be gross, Hov.
That'd be really gross.
That'd be nasty.
That'd be really disgusting, right? For you, the one who's supposed to be laid out the blueprint of what the street law is really all about and how you're supposed to navigate in a room full of vultures, right? That's you. Yeah. And now you're just going to put this dude on? Speculation. So until I see it, I'm not going to believe it, but I'm hearing from some good sources that this may be the case, you know? Jeez. And it may be the only thing that can save Rock Nation at the time, sorry to say.
Jeez.
Because ain't nobody performing nowhere right now.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then that's a money grab. It's even more disgusting.
Well, I remember, did we talk about the concert pods that it would be like a
yeah,
maximum?
We did. How that would weird. How you gonna move people into concert pods?
Yeah.
You know, unless you're talking 15,000 pods where I get in my pod and I roll to my section and I'm sitting there with my family in my pod. Yeah. If I'm doing that, I can stay home. Yes, and just turn the music up.
Yeah.
Yes? Mm-hmm. So this is kind of just weird. And again, sensationalism, bro. And he feeds into it because if my life was being threatened by some real people, you would never hear from me again.
Yeah, and then like now, you can't tell him nothing now.
No. He's doing the same thing he did when he left.
That's worse now because now I won. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won.
Yes.
Like, I'm out.
I'm out, son.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get my money.
Yeah.
But back to Alpo, you know what I mean? What did Harlem do? They welcomed that kid because he didn't snitch in nobody in Harlem.
True.
So he back on the streets like,
chilling.
It's all good out here.
I told you I saw him once.
Yeah. Just like, you know, so, that's the world we live in now. So just accept it for what it is. It's entertainment. And there's a whole generation of, you know, little white dorky kids who like that kind of stuff. They don't want to participate in it. They want to experience it from afar. Yeah. He provides that.
Especially, you ratted. I would have ratted. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how they all look justified. I would have did the same thing. I would have did
the same thing.
Yeah.
So we know we cut from a different cloth. You know what I mean? So that's the world we live in.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So last week we talked about Elon Musk being on the Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah. We talked about him being on the Joe Rogan podcast and
Elon, what's his name again?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Signed a Tesla, SpaceX.
Yes.
The Boring Company.
Yes.
And you know he's trying to go to Mars. He's trying to do all this fantastical stuff. And he was talking about the virus and how the pandemic and how it's going on. And he said, I don't believe that is as lethal as they're letting it on to be. Mm-hmm. He was talking about how he hasn't cut down his workforce at all. He has like 7,000 people in China that's still working. He's like, none of them got sick. None of them died. So, you know what I'm saying? He's just talking like that. So you think when he talks like this, you think
that he's on your side.
That he's on your side, right? And this is where it comes into like just how me and my pops on this platform, we do things. Like we'll big you up when you say something profound, and then when you do something that's not
right, out of pocket,
we'll get at you as well. So apparently he's working on putting chips in human brains to make them like super
intelligent,
super.
But you saw this in movies, right?
Facts.
So a science fiction is science fact.
Yeah, and he said it could go to human trials within the next year. Like that's how quick he said he's on it.
So imagine you come up on somebody who's like,
did you ever see that movie Limitless?
Yeah. Yes, where you just have unlimited thinking power, strength. You could process information. Yeah. Well, this is the artificial intelligence that we're speaking about. It's fusing artificial intelligence with the human brain. You know what I mean? Or the human. Yeah. So you don't go 100% artificial intelligence. That's a robot without a soul, without a spirit. So you do it where it's integrated. But would you like to know everything?
No, I don't think so. You know what's crazy? I think about this all the time. Like, where would the fun be in anything? In reading a book and watching, you know what I'm saying? In anything and just experiencing. Like,
Reading the book in 30 seconds.
I don't know if I like that.
Just pick up the book. Wow, that was a great book. Is that where the world is heading?
I hope not. I mean, I guess eventually.
I mean, tell me.
Yeah.
If you had to look at where we're at now, I'm not talking about the knuckle draggers who don't give a shit about nothing. I'm just saying, with white people's fascination with being God and trying to get as close to the supreme as they possibly can through artificial intelligence, right? Now, they have hacked quite a few things. The CERN, project, I don't know if you heard about that. No. These big oscillators, which allow them to, is dealing with antimatter.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And time travel and things of that nature. So I believe I read a couple of good books on CERN. They probably in your library.
You say this all the time.
Well,
you would think he gave me a library with 3,000 books.
I did. It's a lot of books in there.
No, he didn't.
I gave you the most critical books.
Okay, then say that.
Okay, yeah, well. And when it happens, when I think about it, I go, well, hey, where's that book? Oh, it's over there. So anyway, I think they speak about that in a couple of movies, too. What's the movie with Run, Forrest, Run? Hanks, Tom Hanks.
Forrest Gump?
Yeah, but Tom Hanks. Let me play it in the movies, the movies where he's chasing the Illuminati. Come on.
Oh, you're talking about the Da Vinci Code.
The Da Vinci Code movies. I believe in one of those movies or in the Da Vinci Code book that's speaking about CERN. Okay. Back to my point. So they have these devices which garner up a lot of antimatter and energy and things of that nature, again, to teleport people and to do a whole bunch of things. And so they're constantly trying to get closer and closer to the source. They could just come see me. I am the source.
Jeez. Here you go.
You heard?
Here you go.
So no, this is the white man's constant, drive to be God in itself.
Gotcha.
Yes.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Really quick. So this weekend, Trump tweeted Obamagate, #Obamagate.
#Obamagate.
And it went crazy on social media. But when asked, he declined to name the crime that he's accusing Obama of committing. So.
But it's cryptic, right?
Very cryptic, yes.
And why would he do that? When did that drop? Yesterday?
No, that happened, I want to say over the weekend.
Over the weekend?
Because I saw, they said it was trending worldwide. They had 3 million tweets about it. But somebody put Trumpgate and only had 1,500 tweets. But that was trending higher than Obamagate. So it was something, it was definitely manipulation.
Okay, in the numbers and the algorithms.
Yeah, for sure.
So Obamagate, what does that mean? Does he have the ankle bracelet on or does he not? Is he involved with the pedestrian, all the cases dealing with the crimes? Is he not? Has he committed crimes of treason? Has he not? It's all
there.
It's all there. It's all in one gumbo.
Yeah.
Something is going on. Mm-hmm. All right?
Yeah.
I don't want to get my conspiracy theorist hat on, but something is not right. You don't shut down the world because of the flu. You just don't do that. You don't shut down the whole economic base because of the flu. You don't stop airlines, ships, buses. You don't stop everything from moving because you're concerned about our goddamn health.
Yeah.
Stop it with this.
Yeah.
Stop it. All right? So something else is going on. And I don't think there's going to be an election.
Really?
Just I don't think it's going to be an election.
Really?
For whatever reason. I'm not speculating on death because, the whole, his cabinet, Trump's people got the Ro-Ro now.
They do?
Some of them got, some of them got the Ro-Ro.
I don't know if his cabinet has, but I know they've been exposed.
No, his valet driver has it. Fauci is going to be out now telecalming because he wants to quarantine. A few people I'm hearing got the Ro-Ro. Now, I'm not one to gossip. You ain't heard it from me. Somebody got the Ro-Ro, right? So I'm not going to speculate if it's going to be that. If the Simpsons situation is going to come true, I'm not speculating that. or if we're going to be in the middle of a war where they can suspend the Constitution or the election based on, it's going to be something, because look, when you want to know about the unknown, you start in the known.
Yeah.
Look at the year so far.
Yeah.
Just look at what we know.
And it wouldn't surprise anybody.
That would not surprise
We
me.
had a snowstorm.
It
wasn't a storm, but it snowed.
It snowed in May. We got aliens, and nobody gave a shit about the aliens.
True.
That would have been big news last year.
Yeah.
People was like, yeah, aliens, but do they have the cure for the Ro-Ro? That's what people want to know. So we had the Ro-Ro, you know what I'm saying? Aliens, we got killer hornets, snow. Dude, what else could go wrong, right?
Kobe died.
Kobe died.
Bro.
You know, so this whole thing is off the rails, man. This is off the rails. So I would not be surprised, because look, the election is in 5 months.
True.
That's 5 months away. Usually by now the candidates are joining with each other. Our focal is on, oh, Trump said that. Yeah. Oh, Biden said that. Now we like, yo, dude, we don't care. So how are they going to put this on to put on an event where we can believe that your vote counts? This is interesting stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
So let's just pay attention on how this plays out, but I don't think there's going to be an election.
Side note, I was listening to a podcast, and one of the people on the podcast said Biden's best chance of winning would be to pick like who his cabinet would be now and run as it's me and us versus Trump.
Would that, I mean, has anybody ever done that before?
I don't think so. Like, that'll be symbolically. You know what I'm saying?
That's gang gang.
Yeah.
Yo, it's gang gang.
You pick a few people that Twitter likes.
This is my team.
And we have to take down the big bad. Like,
right, we coming through like this.
Yeah.
Because if he gonna stand up there by himself and fall asleep
slurs
in the middle of or Trump has intercourse. I mean,
you know, with the corona and it's
with
a great
the corona,
beer.
And it's a great. But did he have intercourse with the corona?
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then he'll come up and see the moderator and smell her hair. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, that smells good. Yeah. And she'll be like, excuse me, Biden, answer the question, yes. I mean, what's going on with this guy?
Yeah.
And this is who y'all going to put out there? Ouch. And don't tell me I'm caping for Trump. I ain't got no horse in the race. I ain't voted in 30 years. Bro. Okay?
Listen.
So, and because I don't believe in the process. Bro. But I am watching. What happened?
I'm just saying, like, we've said on here we have no horse in the race.
I said that 10 times.
Yeah, just.
And I still get flack in the comment section that I'm caping for Trump. I have no horse in the race.
Jeez.
But I am watching. How can I not watch?
Facts. Yeah.
And how can I not point out what I see? And how can I not say this too in Trump's behalf? Anytime everybody is mad at this person, why? Just think about that. I'm talking about the media. Whenever everybody is steering your attention one way, at minimum, you got to say maybe something ain't right. Just pay attention. All right? And that's not a cap for Trump. I'm just calling it like I see it. Right? This is mind control 101. And I mean all of the media. I don't see, it usually be one station for one candidate.
Yeah.
Other station, they all going, this dude is the worst possible.
Fox News usually gives him a break, but what they do is they give him a break as a dumb dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like as this is what we got, y'all.
Yeah, so let's deal with it.
You know what I'm saying? Don't look at him too hard. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
don't misconstrue what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm
telling you, anytime they got you with all your attention here, you need to look the other way. That's just 101, right? And if you're going to keep falling for the okie doke, because he has no power to begin with, and you're going to fall for the okie doke and think this is your problem, and once you get rid of him, and now we have Biden, and what do you think is going to happen then? I'll wait.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So, Urban Xcellence Story.
Urban Xcellence Story. I love these.
Where we highlight something.
Sponsored by your ad here.
Exactly. Where we highlight something excellent within our community. It goes to Nicholas Johnson from Canada,
Canada.
who is Princeton University's first black valedictorian as in history.
Clap that up. So this is the first black
And Princeton is like over 200 years old as a school.
from Princeton.
Yeah.
First black. He's from Canada.
Yeah.
All right? And his name is Nicholas Johnson. Yes?
Nicholas Johnson, yes.
Nicholas Johnson, you've done an amazing job, and I know there's people who go, Princeton. That just means he the best of the best. No matter where he put his hands, he's showing and proving he God.
Yes, he said, he was quoted by saying, "It is very empowering, and he hopes the achievement can serve as an inspiration and motivation for black students." So
Now,
shout out to
Princeton,
him.
that's not the Skull and Bones. That's
Yale.
That's Yale.
Yes.
All right, so, all right.
And again, we're not going to introduce that stuff into our Urban Excellence segment.
Right, I be thinking out loud.
Yeah, you know what I'm
I
saying?
be thinking out loud, but I'm very proud of Nicholas Johnson from Canada
Yes.
for being the first black
Yes.
valedictorian in Princeton's history. Eat that, eat that. Yeah, yeah.
So he wants to be a software engineer. He interned for Google.
Oh, okay.
He also interned at Oxford University in the UK.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, he's about that.
So let me see a picture. Oh yeah, that's a straight brother. He about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he about it.
about that. 22 years old.
22?
Shouts out, man.
Shouts.
Yeah, got the world in his hands.
Yeah, man. Anything you want, man, you can do it.
Facts.
You can do it.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
You can get this shirt right here. Woke.
We don't even make these anymore. This is the first ones we had.
That's the very first
The
shirt.
very first shirts we made.
And we only had 30 of them, and we sold them to raise money for little poor kids in Africa. No? That's not what we did?
That's not what
Okay, that's not what we did.
Making
Okay, I'm
stuff
making
up.
shit up. All right, but we,
donations.
yeah, we did sell 30 of those.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll bring them back so we can give money to kids in Africa.
Where in Africa? See, that's that.
Africa is huge. Ain't nobody gonna check up on me. I sent that money to Africa after a small administrative fee. Okay, because that's the way it works. If we raise 10,000, 9,000 is for administrative fees, so we can put this on, and we send that 1,000 to the kids in Africa. Ain't that how the Red Cross do it?
It is.
That's how they do it, right?
It is.
You be like, they built 6 houses in Haiti. Not 600 houses.
Yeah.
Not 6. They built 6 houses in Haiti. And I can't say their name because they kill us. I ain't gonna say them two people's name. You know who I'm talking about. They don't play.
Yeah, they don't.
I am not playing with them. Them. Say their name 3 times like Candyman, man. Them. They puts that work in, but they had stole all that money out there. Yeah.
So, real quick, before we get up out of here, Zion Williamson's former agent is suing him for $100 million and accusing Duke of paying him to play for that team.
Okay, are we surprised that he got money to play for Duke?
Oh, hell no.
No, we're not, right?
Yeah,
Poor
what is
kid,
wet? Yeah.
coming from the hood.
Yeah.
Somebody, and they got now they got all of these filters.
Oh, yeah.
So the money don't just go like back in the days. It used to be like, look, here's the money. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You can't do that now.
Yeah.
So now they got to funnel the money in a roundabout way, and now she's hurt. She's butthurt.
Oh, she's bugging though. Like that's a real short game though.
But why is she his former agent?
I'm not sure.
So he fired her,
For sure.
right? And she didn't like that.
Yes.
And
Gina Ford.
Gina Ford, no disrespect, Gina, you might have a full case.
But
I'm
again-
pretty sure you knew that when he took the money. If
And-
you were still his agent,
Yes, marketing agent. Yes.
his marketing agent, none of this would come out.
But again, if this is your career, why would you out the next biggest thing? You know what I'm saying? No athlete's gonna want to work
Because
with
no
you.
athlete is going to work with you from that point on.
Snitching.
You're snitching. But we in the era of snitches. We just got finished a segment clapping up the rats.
Yeah.
So there is no, there is no more, sacred information. Obviously, she was in her feelings. He dumped her, and now she wants to get paid $100 million.
$100 million.
If she wins, she'll get about $4 million.
She's not gonna win.
She might. You never know what kind of evidence she
Yeah,
has.
she probably was stashing.
Yeah, you never really know.
Yeah.
But his money is long, her money is not. Duke's money is long. They're gonna side with him. We didn't give him nothing. Her money is not. So they keep sending you to court. They keep postponing, and then they be like, look, just take the $4 million and make it all go away. Sign the NDA, right?
Yeah.
That this, didn't happen, and he goes on to have an illustrious career, and it just becomes a blemish.
And then again, she played the short game.
She played the short game. Yeah.
Instead of the long game.
Instead of the long game. Pause. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So
tell me about the Daily Story. You had a story about the Daily Show and in essence how all of this stuff came about with news and fake news.
Yeah. So last week, I was listening again to a bunch of different podcasts, and they talked about how the Daily Show is. I feel like we talked about this. You sure
we
talked
didn't?
About this?
We didn't.
About how the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, Jon Stewart, things like that. They ruined what we see as news now, because a lot of millennials, people in college, they didn't like to watch regular standard news
because it was boring.
CNN, Fox, it was boring. So they got their news from Comedy Central, and it gave you news, but it gave it out in a real funny way. Made everything into like a joke, like a snap here, snap there, like that. And other news outlets tried to adapt that, and that's why we don't get
real news no more. Everything is a performance.
Everything is an opinion, and you're waiting for Don Lemon to say something snappy. You're waiting for Sean Hannity to say something, or Tucker Carlson to say something. You're waiting for, and we never get any real news anymore. We just get a bunch of biases from every side, right or left. You know what I'm saying? Every news story has a slant to it, and they're saying a lot of people blame the Daily Show for that, and I think that's interesting.
Very interesting, and it wasn't until you brought it to my attention that I looked at it like that. Like the satire and what they did and how they brought about the news. You were still getting the news, but they were almost making fun of the news.
Yeah.
So is news really news? And can we be serious anymore? And does anybody just give you straight editorial? Because we here at Urban X give you the news.
We try.
Yeah, right. But that's a very interesting statement, because it leads to how do we even take anything serious anymore?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then when the internet get to it, we put the ether music under Don Lemon and freak that way, and do this and that, and make our own pieces out of it. So there's nothing to be taken too serious anymore.
Yeah, facts. Oh, did you catch the Erykah Badu Joe Scott battle?
I did not.
Me neither. I watched like 2 songs.
I like both of them. I respect both of them. Those are my ladies. Yeah, I tuned in for a few.
I can't take the Instagram battle sound.
That's my thing. So it's not them per se.
Yeah.
I just can't. I want to hear full stereo sound and really, and the internet, and they had a nice little love fest going. I thought that was great how the sisters handled themselves. You know what I mean? Very, very well.
Apparently, Nelly and Luda is going at it next.
Ooh, who you got?
I don't know. That's tough.
Luda got some heat.
Nelly went diamond twice.
Not once, twice.
Ooh. You know what I'm saying? But as a lyricist, Nelly's nice too, bro.
Yeah, he can't mess with Ludacris.
But Luda's nasty. Yeah,
Luda's nasty as a lyricist. But it's not about lyricism.
It's about hits.
It's about hits. And a lot of people don't give DMX a shot against Jay-Z. I'm not too sure.
I'm not too sure about that either.
I'm not too sure. Because when we talk hits, DMX had hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's...
A lot of people get just amnesia when it comes to Jay-Z. Like, when they were coming up, DMX was the guy.
Yes.
Well, no, I'm not going to say the guy, but I will say this. As long as Jay-Z's been in the game, there's always been somebody else who was right there neck and neck with
and
him.
DMX was blowing him out the water early.
Yeah, he had 6 #1 albums in a
row.
row.
Yeah, he was blowing him out of the water early. I think Jay-Z's longevity, of course, kept him in the game, and he adjusted and adapted in some ways. But hit for hit, DMX got some hits now. Yes?
Yeah.
So that would be a dope joint. But again, the Instagram sound just...
I can't do it.
I can't do it.
And then watching these old people try to get the hang of live and...
Yeah. It's really, really tough.
It is annoying, so...
So listen, guys, next week, Monday...
Yes.
we're gonna come on live.
We're just gonna go straight live on Monday.
We're gonna go straight live on Monday, so be on the lookout for that. We'll make another announcement Thursday, just as a reminder that we're gonna go live on Mondays. We want to give both of these podcasts a little chance to breathe.
Yeah, we don't want, because we felt like we were just hitting.
Yeah, Tuesday and Thursdays a little close, so Monday and Thursdays will be, how we lay that out, so that we can give each podcast a chance to breathe, and we'll throw the HULC in between that, and get that thing popping. Yes.
Fact. Yep. So, guys, with that being said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and
Twitter.
UrbanX_NYC on both, Instagram and Twitter.
Yes.
Don't forget, if you're listening to us right now on Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeart. Don't forget to comment, leave a rating.
Yes.
For us if you enjoyed what you heard just now.
Yes.
What else? Go visit UrbanX.NYC. Subscribe. So we can keep you up to date to what we got going on.
And go get these shirts.
Go to shopurbanx.com. We got a lot, bro. And download the app, Urban Excellence app, for free.
For free. Download the app.
On Google Store, iOS Store, for free.
For free.
So with that being said, peace.
Peace.